All right, good evening and welcome to our Anson County 4-H members interview. I'm so excited to be able to interview these young people, these 4-Hers, representing their respective programs and shows and events that they've done this year. And we'll go ahead and kick things off. We'll take a minute just to kind of look at the agenda. We're going to start. We've started, and I'll give a quick intro about National 4-H Week. We'll do some introductions, and we'll have our interview questions, and then we'll kind of wrap things up after we have some final thoughts, and we'll talk about some announcements and upcoming events. Alrighty, so the reason why we are doing this video, this wonderful video, is because National 4-H Week is coming up in October, and somehow I'm going to be out of town during that week. So I wanted to get this group together and to have them to kind of talk, highlight the different 4-H programs that they're in. And so National 4-H Week is a time just to highlight the remarkable 4-H youth across our state and to showcase the incredible experiences that 4-H offers young people. And again, this National 4-H Week will kick off on Sunday, October the 2nd, and it will run through Saturday, October the 8th. So mark your calendar for those dates as we prepare to celebrate National 4-H Week. So next up, we're going to start off with some introductions. Like I said, we have 4 wonderful, amazing 4-Hers, and we're going to kick things off first with Mrs. Maddie Carpenter. So Maddie is a 9th grader at Anson Senior High. Maddie is a 4-H member at large and has been showing heifers, and I just found out also bulls, for several years in Anson County's 4-H livestock shows and other shows across the state, and I believe North Carolina. So Maddie, how you doing tonight?
Good. How are you?
Doing good, doing good. All right, y'all go ahead and get y'all's mics and stuff ready so we can make sure y'all are loud and clear. All right, next up we have Mrs. Jazaria Underwood. Jazaria is also a 9th grader at Anson High. Jazaria is a 4-H member at large, and this year she attended her first 4-H event, the North Carolina Association of County Commissioners, NCACC Youth Voice. Jazaria, how are you tonight?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing just great. All right, next up we have Mr. Domingo Rios. Domingo is also a 9th grader. A lot of 9th graders tonight. Domingo is a 9th grader at Anson High, where he is a member of the 4-H Robotics Club, the Robo Rules 3661. And I apologize, Domingo, you are no longer in the 9th grade. You are a 10th grader now, right?
Yeah, sure.
So Domingo is he is part of the 4-H Robotics Club at the high school with Miss Stephanie Labrie. And again, the Robo Rules 3661. Domingo, how you feeling tonight?
Good, and yourself?
Doing good. Glad to have you on. And last but not least, we have Mr. Andrew Martin. Andrew is our youngest. He is an 8th grader at Anson Middle School and a member of the Busy Bees 4-H Club. This summer, Andrew attended North Carolina 4-H Congress for the first time. How you doing tonight, Andrew?
I'm doing pretty good, Sam. What about you?
Doing good, doing good. Andrew is fresh out of football practice, so we're glad to have you on tonight. All right, so let's get into it. We'll start with you, Maddie. Let's do some interview questions and see what you all have going on. All right, Maddie, so I'm gonna go through a few pictures and I want you to kind of take a moment and kind of explain what's going on in these pictures.
So in these 2 pictures, the one with me and the judge in the background. So we just got done showing, and my heifer was actually the grand champion heifer of the show that we went to. And then in the picture with me, with the bigger heifer, we were attending Mountain State Fair in Fletcher this year, and we were showing in the Grand Drive for Mountain State Fair for the Angus division.
Cool. I got a few more pictures we'll let you talk through.
So in this picture, this year I was able to attend the biggest show on dirt, which is the Junior Nationals, which is the biggest show that you can really go to. In this picture, me and my 3 other teammates were fitting a heifer, and in the background you can see the judge in the blue shirt. He was critiquing us on how we presented the cow, and how she looked when we got done. And the Nationals was held in Kansas City, Missouri.
Nice. I think we got one more.
So in this picture, that little boy, he is one of my kids that I teach. He is 2 years old, and he is so adorable. This was at the show that me and my family put on, the Anson County Livestock Show. It's held at the end of August, and my mom is the one leading the heifer in the picture. So.
Thank you. So we had to include the young man here in this picture. A few more questions for you. Thank you for your answers, Maddie. Can you explain for anybody who may not know, what is a heifer?
So a heifer generally is a female cow that is less than 2 years old and has never had a calf. Now, when they're almost 2 years old, then they will have a calf, but you do not want them to have a calf before 2 years old, or they will have, it can cause death in the calf and the mom, or birth defects in the calf.
Gotcha. All right, so you know quite a bit about heifers. How long have you been doing your heifer shows?
So I have been competing in heifer shows ever since I was between 2 and 3 years old, and I am now 14 years old. So quite a few years.
Wow. And so what made you get into showing heifers? What interested you?
So I grew up on a farm ever since I was born, and my grandpa has been definitely my biggest supporter. He's always there. He's at every show, every weekend, and he has had a very big impact on the cattle industry too. He has judged different livestock shows all over North and South Carolina, and also Virginia. He judged cattle shows, pig shows, goat shows, and lamb shows. And he also was the head of the North Carolina Livestock State Fair for very many years.
Very cool. Shout out to Mr. Bruce Schenkel for the last 2 years, I think, maybe 3, really putting in hard work to help us put on the livestock show for Anson County. So, yeah, shout out to him. And last question: do you have any advice for youth or a young person who wants to get into showing heifers? What kind of advice would you give?
Some advice that I would give is, first and foremost, to take care of your heifer. You need to do that 7 days a week. They need to be fed, and make sure that you give them water every day, every week, no days off. And to make sure that you have a lot of discipline and work ethic. I mean, it takes a lot to be able to show a heifer, and you really need to have someone also that is willing and able to put in as much work as you are to make sure that your cattle are nicely presented to anyone watching.
Very good advice. Thank you so much for hopping on, Maddie. We're going to transition to, and I think it's perfect because our next person, Mrs. Jazaria, has expressed some interest in livestock, but we're going to take a different route, and we're going to talk about her attending Youth Voice this summer in Concord. Jazaria, tell us what's going on in this picture.
So first, before I could even attend the Youth Voice in Concord, I had to take a picture with all the commissioners, at least one of the commissioners. and to show them that I am interested in my community and everything like that. So like basically tell the counselors or commissioners that what my ideal of having a better community is in Anson County, and try to give them ideas where we could make everything a little bit better in our community. So that's why I had to speak up there for the youth force. And basically, I just taking pictures showing that I was able to put some ideas in their heads where we can grow in Anson County.
One thing I really love about 4-H, it does give you the opportunity to show leadership, and Jazara hopped right on up there. I mean, I was a little nervous. I'm always a little nervous going to go meet with the commissioners, but she hopped right up there and she said her piece. She took pictures, and it was a very cool moment to be able to see her just kind of mingling and learning from our commissioners. That was a really good experience. All right, what's going on here?
Oh, so we was in Concord, and basically you had to go out and explore other people, and you had to make friends with them, and you had to do a group effort. So it was I can't remember what pole it was or line it was. I think it was like a airline or
something like that.
Yeah, something like that. So basically everybody had to come together and make the line come down to the ground, simple and smoothly and easily. And it took a lot of tries, a little heartache, a little bit, like, because it was hard, because like one side was going up, the other side was going down. So we all had to come together as a team, breathe, figure out what the problem was, so that way we can get that line straight on the bottom of the ground. And we actually accomplished that as well. So that was cool.
Yeah, this was a teamwork, team building exercise, and basically trying to highlight how commissioners have to work together to make things work. And it was kind of funny because, you know, one end would be up, one would be down, but they had to drop it down on the floor evenly, and it was definitely much harder than it looks. What else we got? What's going on here?
So right there, we was speaking out basically what would we want, like what, let's say, how, like what, as my teammates, as we was like at the group, and basically somebody out of the team had to speak out and give effort to like say what was going on in the commissioners, because basically we had to come together, form our own town, and we all had to pitch in like to see what was the problem, what we needed to solve, the pros and cons, how could we keep what we told the people that we was going to keep, and how we promised them that we was going to keep it. How do we have to balance it out with stuff that we didn't actually need? Like, for example, we had to take our resource officers in the school because the tax money that the town had, it didn't have enough money for it. So we had to budget our money. We had to figure out ways to come up with more money as we gave the money back to the loans and to people who we owe money to. We had to figure out ways to bring money back and basically have our town what we need, and to say that we told you we was going to do this, we actually meant what we told you. So we're doing our best to make it as possible as we can. And it was so hard because we did not want to take out a lot of things, because we promised them a lot of things and we did not want to take it out. So we had to eliminate some things, but we was going to bring it back. Like healthcare, we had to eliminate the cost of how much people would get, but we at least brought it back to where they would get healthcare. It was hard. And now that I see that, now I'm like, okay, I can go easy on my town commissioners, because I see their job is not easy. So that was pretty fun, but tough at the same time.
This one was funny to watch because they gave them a budget and they had to, you know, allocate the money, and as a group or whatever. And, you know, they had like the media and, you know, basically citizens who were like judging your decisions. And that was really fun to see the kids squirm, because they, you know, one group was like, we're going to get rid of after school. And then the parents, you know, all the parents were like, well, wait a minute, where are our kids going to go? And so that was a really, really interesting, it was funny seeing the kids squirm with that one, but hopefully it gives them a better understanding of what it means to be a commissioner. Was that the last one? All right. So Jazara, just to kind of get a little more insight from you, What's something that you learned at Youth Voice that you can bring back to Anson County?
Something I learned is like go easy on the commissioners because their job is not hard, but also push them to what you want in your community and bring it up when you know that they can do something. Try to like pitch in more in your community since you want your town to be better. Like we could put in forth an effort to make our community grow as well by doing one individual thing. And I also learned that teamwork, like we can't be selfish and be like, oh, because I don't like this person, I'm not going to help you out when you actually doing that and it's bringing everybody else down. And so basically you just got to have teamwork. Everybody got to be on the same page. Communication is the key because if you didn't have communication, everything is going to be up and down. So basically communication and going easy on on them, but making it where you want your voice to be heard. That was the main goal. Make your voice heard, your youth voice heard. So make sure you just make it heard.
Sounds good. Sounds good. So, what was your favorite moment at Youth Voice?
I had so many. Oh my God. My favorite was the teamwork when we had to come together and pretend like we was the commissioners. That was my favorite part because it actually put me in the zone of what they had to do and how they had to do it.
All right, last question. So for Youth Voice, we can only take one delegate a year, and so Jazara, this will probably your first and last time going because we want to take somebody new every year. Would you recommend somebody going to this event?
Definitely. Like it's fun. You will enjoy yourself.
All right, sounds good. Thank you so much. All right, next up, we have Mr. Domingo. All right, we got to throw some tech in here. All right, Domingo, tell me, it was down to 3, y'all, and I'll kind of give some backstory. So I've been an agent for 4 years now. Will be 4 years in November. And when I first came on, Miss LaBrie and the whole team, she had about a 15 to roughly 20 person team. Post-COVID, now that was pre-COVID. Post-COVID, y'all met in January of this year, and I think you had about 3 people on the team.
Yep.
And then, from my understanding, you had 2 of your teammates to graduate. So you were the lone wolf standing. So you're gonna have to recruit some folks. What's going on? Tell us what's going on in this picture here.
So this was at the end of the match. So this is when we won our game. As you can see, it's me, Hannah, and Shiny. I have the kind of a certificate. She has the trophy. It was a really great match that day.
Yeah, and I think every event that I've been to, they've come in first every time. And so I wasn't able to make this one, but they still came in first, even without me being there. So I guess I wasn't the good luck charm, I guess. All right, what's going on here?
So this is when we first got our bot into the pit. This is when we first arrived. We got everything, or tried to get everything set up so we could be ready to go, make sure everything's running right. Or at this point, we're just congregating in the pit.
Gotcha. And tell us about your robot, because you know they have your challenges and your tasks and things that you're supposed to accomplish throughout the year. Tell us, because you were the driver, if I remember right. All right, tell us about the robot you all built. First of all, they built this robot, and then tell us about some of your objectives you were trying to accomplish, and tell us about driving.
So first off, our robot was pure defense. So it wasn't a shooter or climber, it was just pure defense. So we had to block the other teams from shooting inside of the hoop. And at first we needed help with our coding since we didn't have a coder at the time. There's only 3 of us. And the driving mode we used was tank. So it'd be forward and backwards and turn left and right. And it was really my first time driving. So I was a little scared, but it was a lot of fun. Did pretty good.
Yeah, you came in first, so you did all right. But yeah, that's always a really cool thing to see, the competitions, because it's a regional competition, and so they bring out a lot of people, and the competition is usually pretty stiff. the first one I went to, it takes a little bit of time to figure out what's going on.
Yeah.
But once you get it and you kind of see just the defense, the offense, it's actually a really cool thing to see. So do you know the basic requirements to be on the robotics team? Do you know?
Um, I know at least for travel, you have to be there. I'd say 60 to 70% of every meeting. And I think those are a long time ago, but I think I had to sign a permission slip to join the team.
hmm And of course, you probably want to have a little bit of knowledge about some engineering, some of those physics and science that they teach. Ms. Labrie does a phenomenal job teaching that stuff. I always feel like my head is going to explode whenever they talk about just the coding, just the different the science that goes into building a robot. So I'm always impressed whenever I get around high school kids building robots from scratch, basically, right? So you told me your role. I kind of got ahead of myself. So you were the driver. This was your first year. You did an amazing job. Y'all came in first. Tell us, what was the experience like at Pembroke? Because you do, is it 2 competitions a year? Or, yeah.
Yes, it was 2.
Yeah, so 2. Because I think you do one in Asheville also.
Yeah, we couldn't make that one.
Okay, yeah, that's a long ride. Yeah, but tell us, what was the experience like? This was your first year, right?
Yep.
In Pembroke, what was that like? The lights shining. What was that like?
Yeah, I loved it a lot. It was a lot of fun. I got to walk around, see everyone else's bot. I was picking up just things were flying in and out of my head, new ideas, everything. And I got to meet a lot of new people. It was a great experience, and I just had a lot of fun.
Cool. It looks like y'all had a lot of fun. Like I said, I always enjoy going to those competitions, man. So good luck with y'all this upcoming up year. Well, it'll be January when y'all kick off the season, but good luck recruiting, man. Hopefully y'all can build that team back up again.
Thank you.
All right. Last but not least, we have Mr. Andrew. Now, Andrew is legacy 4-H. His brother Quentin graduated, I think, a year ago, or maybe a year ago, and he was one of the first 4-H's where we did a lot of trips together. We did 4-H Congress together, and so he's kind of filling those shoes and stepping up. I think you got to be at least 13 to participate in Congress, but as soon as he was old enough, he wanted to join, and so I was glad to keep that tradition alive of 4-H's within Andrew's family. So Andrew, tell us what's going on in this picture here.
So basically, there's this little map, right? And we had there's these wires that went around the paper, and we had to connect the wires to these little lamps, and we had these 2 batteries, and we had to try and make the lights turn on.
And so basically it's an electric project, and which is a whole separate thing. They have 4-H Electric Congress, and I'm sure we'll probably get Andrew involved in that. I think he just missed it this past year, but they do all kinds of workshops here at Congress, 4-H Congress. Congress is a state level event, so we have 4-H's from all over North Carolina. They come and they get to meet other 4-H'ers. Now this particular event is open to, you can have more than one. Personally, I don't know if I would take more than 10, but if push came to shove, maybe we can get some chaperone. Maybe some of y'all's parents will come along and we'll help chaperone. But if you're interested in being a part of this event, you just have to be 13, I think 13 to 19, depending on when your birthday is. But we can bring more 4-H's on this one. But what's going on here, Andrew, in this picture?
So this was during the dance. And so they had this like photo station at in the corner, and me and a bunch of people from Hyde County were we went to photo booth and took pictures. They had a bunch of props we could use.
Yeah, so they had a dance. Did you do much dancing?
No.
Andrew didn't do much dancing, but he had a good time. Andrew was the only one that came with Anson County. Next year we plan to take more, so just y'all keep that in mind. But we hung out with, like you said, with Hyde County, and he made some new friends over there. The dance was during the election, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the premise of Congress is the 4-Hers they come and they get to run for state offices. So we have your president, your state president, your vice president, secretary, reporter, and they have a new position, member engagement. And it's pretty impressive to see, these kids on the these youth on the state level, basically planning the workshops, planning the whole event, and what Andrew and the other 4-Hers who attended, they actually vote electorally, like Anson County. I can't remember what our number was, the weight for our county, but he got the vote, and they have a dance, and they while the dance is going on, they announced the winners, and so that was pretty cool. I thought that was pretty cool. Now what's going on here?
So I think it was the second day, right?
Second or third, I can't remember. Yeah, second day.
And we got a break before we had to go back. So we went to Frankie's Funhouse during our break. When we played laser tag and rode go-karts.
Yeah, so the fun thing about Congress is, I think, about 3 days. You're in Raleigh. You get a chance to meet other 4-Hers, but also we do, fun activities. And on this particular, I think we were trying to play Top Golf, but it was full, so we ended up going to play laser tag and do go-karts and at Frankie's. So I think it's safe to say that Andrew had a good time. Tell me, Andrew, what's one thing that you learned at Congress that you could bring back to Anson County?
I learned how to work over problems with people that you don't know.
Yeah, they had a few workshops, and they did a lot of teamwork. I never did figure out how to do the little braid thing that they were doing. Did you do that? You remember
I'm not sure.
The little rope that they were doing for the community service project?
Oh yeah, we did do that.
Did you ever figure that out? I was having a hard time with that one, but
with a lot of help I did.
Yeah. What was your favorite moment with 4-H Congress?
Probably when we went to Frankie's and just rode around.
That was pretty fun. And last but not least, all right, so you were the only one that went this year. All right, would you recommend to all your friends? Would you recommend them coming to 4-H Congress next summer?
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, we appreciate you, Andrew. And we got through our interviews, and next, final thoughts. Does anybody have any other advice they want to drop? Like I said, we tried to show the range of 4-H. Each county is different. Anson County is unique in that we have our livestock, we have our STEM and robotics, we have our leadership. I want us to be balanced so that we can have something for everybody. And so, are there any final thoughts? If not, I really want to say thank you to Maddie, to Cesario, Domingo, to Andrew for hopping on and helping me to kind of showcase Anson County 4-H. You all are doing some very cool stuff. I can't wait to see what you guys do next. I know you all are going to be amazing adults because of just y'all's background and everything y'all are learning. And so just keep doing what you're doing. All right. And upcoming events. We're rounding up September, and I just thought about it. All this is going to be over when this views in October. But in September, at the end of this month, the library is having bingo on Friday, September 30th from 4 to 5 p.m. So if you like playing bingo, come on out. Tell your friends, and then y'all come out and play some bingo. But again, I want to thank y'all so much for joining us on tonight, and again showcasing Anson County 4-H. You all have represented Anson County 4-H extremely well, and I owe y'all like a t-shirt or a sweater or something. So when you get a chance, send me your shirt sizes and we will we'll get that straightened out. So last thing, I like to take a picture. So if everybody will turn the camera on. Gerald, if you could throw your face on here too, I'd appreciate that. And we're gonna give a nice big smile. All right, 1, 2, hold on, there we go. 1, 2, 3. One more. 1, 2, 3. Hold on. Shining over here. 1, 2, 3. All right. Gotcha. All right. Thank y'all so much. Y'all enjoy the rest of y'all's evening, and we'll surprise the world with this one when we drop it in October. All right. Y'all take care and have a good night.
You too.
Bye, Sam.
Have a good one, y'all.